Hi, good afternoon. This is Jeremy Murphy. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I am an asthmatic ultramarathoner. I'm a running coach, also a nutrition consultant, and I wanted to talk to you today about nutrition, running, and how those two interrelate and how important nutrition is for our health. You know, we have situations with our health where we gravitate between health and illness, and sometimes illness is predominant and sometimes health is predominant. And I think it's important that we start to take our health into our own hands to prevent unnecessary trips to the doctor, unnecessary medication. And I think if we're smarter about nutrition, we can prevent a lot of those doctor trips, unnecessary medication, and we can lose weight, sleep better, and there's just all kinds of collateral consequences. So wanted to give you a little bit of background. I've been a marathoner since 1988. I have been, I'm going to talk about nutrition and things like that today. So, and I've been a running coach, been a certified RRCA running coach since, since July of this year. So we're going to go ahead and talk about nutrition. If you have questions, feel free to ask, and we'll try to answer those as best we can. But I want to talk about some important nutritional changes you can make in your life and how they may help, and a couple things on which foods we should buy organic and which ones that it doesn't matter as much. There are two lists called, one is the Dirty Dozen and one is the Clean 15 list. So let's see, we have someone calling in, Flitty Bachir. Hello. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Good. How are you?
I am fine. And you?
I'm doing well. Is your name Flitty?
Yes, my name, yes.
Okay. Is that how you pronounce it? Is that correct?
I am from Algeria.
Algeria?
Yes.
Cool. Are you a runner, or what do you do?
What?
Do you run? Are you a runner?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a runner too. I guess we're kind of talking about running and nutrition is what we're covering today. So, have you ever been on Blab before, or is this your first time?
Okay.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move on. I don't know if you understood what I was saying or not, but anyway, we're gonna move on. I'm going to talk about a specific type of Irish oatmeal that I'm going to endorse today. I talked about this on Periscope a little bit, and my personal journey for health and nutrition took an interesting turn a couple of years ago. I was training for a full marathon and had some blood work done that I thought would be routine. The doctor contacted me back and said, "Look, your blood work is indicates that you have high cholesterol. In particular, your LDL cholesterol, what they call the bad cholesterol, is too high, and your HDL, the good cholesterol, was too low." And I had high triglycerides, and so had to make some changes. And the doctor told me, that those changes had to be made. And I asked her, "Well, what changes should I make?" And she said, "Well, you're gonna have to figure that out." And so that was a little frustrating. So I called my brother Mike, who's a medical doctor, and I said, "Look, this is what I'm being told. I'm a distance runner. I'm a marathoner. I thought I was eating right and all this, and maybe I wasn't monitoring that carefully enough." And so my brother urged me to cut back on meat consumption, which I did. I gave up meat on Fridays and Mondays, so I only eat meat 5 days a week now. And also to lower cholesterol, he recommended eating more oatmeal. And oatmeal is something that I try to eat every day now, and maybe there's some days that I don't, but that's something I try to either work it into my smoothie or put it in my breakfast, or if I need a snack and can't figure out what else to eat, I'll make oatmeal. At least I know that's a healthy option, healthier than a lot of other choices that can be made for that. So I will talk about the oatmeal. We'll talk about chia, flax, quinoa. I'm going to talk a little bit about nuts and nut butter, and coconut oil and milk. And also, I figured out that I had lactose intolerance. And this was something I wasn't really suspecting. And my wife recommended that I consider checking on it. Maybe I cut back on my milk consumption. I love to drink milk, and I didn't think it was affecting me negatively. And I love to eat cheese and didn't think that was affecting me, but I was having a lot of gastric distress, not really an allergic reaction, but more of a, kind of an inflammation response, and didn't realize that inflammation may be tied to that. So after my wife's suggestion, I cut back on the lactose consumption. I switched to almond milk and coconut milk. Cashew milk is another option. Sometimes cashew milk is actually cheaper than almond milk. I'm not sure why. I guess maybe sometimes cashews are maybe a little more plentiful perhaps, but and coconut milk can be expensive. So sometimes I get the almond and coconut milk blended, so I don't have to mix them in the blender. But so that's kind of what I've done to deal with the lactose issue. Just have given up dairy entirely. I try not to consume it at all. I might, on very rare occasions, eat like a slice of cheese or something like that, but it's not a snack anymore. I do bend that rule with Greek yogurt is a good source of protein, and I have a legume allergy, so I have to avoid beans and peanuts and things like that. So I do need some healthy sources of protein. I don't have Greek yogurt every day, but I might have it every once in a while. Just throw it in the smoothie and make sure that my protein consumption is adequate. So without further ado, we're going to try to make this a rapid fire show. My daughter's a little sick today, so I'm going to try to deliver the content as quickly as possible. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. So we're going to get straight to the point here. First thing I want to bring to your attention, if you haven't discovered it, is the ancient Aztec superfood of chia seeds. It's an excellent vegan source of omega-3. There are vitamins and trace minerals in it too. Very good for digestion. There's a good dose of fiber in it. I try to get this in a large bag. And here's the bag of chia, just to show you some of its qualities. And, there's the nutritional information on the back. But it's nice to be able to look at the ingredients and see, look, there's one ingredient, organic chia seeds. You don't have to interpret a list of 50 ingredients to figure out which ones are good for you and which ones are not. So, and I do buy it organic. The organic chia seems to taste better. I think it's a pure form of the seed. I do put about a tablespoon of this on oatmeal, or throw it in smoothies at about half a tablespoon to a full tablespoon. And, it really helps. It seems to give me more energy, just feel, mentally sharper when I'm taking it regularly, either including it in meals or smoothies or both. Some days I might have it in oatmeal and also have it, in the smoothies. So chia, try to eat some every day, maybe half a tablespoon to a tablespoon, depending on your nutritional requirements. So check on that. See if you can find chia in the store. I'm going to try to maybe go alphabetically here. That might make this kind of interesting. The next thing I'm going to mention is flaxseed. Flaxseed is, again, another healthy seed you can find in the store. Sorry, I'm going to see if we can let you see it through the bag there. Flaxseed is, there's flaxseed oil also, which you can use for cooking. Flax is something you can put in really in smoothies and food. You know, you can put it in the blender, and the blender will kind of crush it up a little bit along with the chia. But flax is another high fiber seed that, you know, I think a lot of us find that we don't consume enough fiber, and that's part of the problems with our digestive systems. We just feel like we're not moving things through our digestive tract fast enough. And so flax helps with that, along with chia. So those are two of my essential items. Let's see. Nuts and nut butter. I'm allergic to legumes, like I said, so I've switched to almond butter. I also buy cashew butter. Tend to go through almond butter so fast that I have to have maybe a backup. I'll buy 2 jars at once, or I'll buy 1 jar of almond milk or almond butter and 1 of cashew butter. So if I run out of one, I have the other as a backup. Our dog likes to lick the almond butter spoon. So, that's something that we try to have on hand. And it's just a great thing to put on bagels. After I run in the morning, I'll frequently have a bagel before my next run, and I'll put almond butter on it. That's something that was suggested by Meb Keflezighi, the Boston Marathon champion of recent years, and Olympic marathoner. So nuts and nut butter. There are nut milks too. I talked about the almond milk and cashew milk as options. There are also some dairy-free. I think there's some dairy-free milks that aren't associated with nuts, but some of them are soy milks. And being allergic to legumes, the soy and soybean falls under that. And that's why I really can't eat a lot of things that are out there. They have partially hydrogenated soybean oil in them. And I'm just so used to seeing labels. And if I see that, I just say, no, can't eat it. It just, I could eat it, but I shouldn't. So I try not to. And so I've avoided soy milk entirely. It just doesn't seem like it would do anything for me. So let's see, we've covered the oatmeal. I would urge any of you that haven't had blood work taken recently, I'm in my 40s, and I think, it's a good idea to have blood work taken every once in a while to make sure that you don't have high cholesterol, high triglycerides, things like that, or other issues in your blood that need to be dealt with. And I think a lot of these things can be dealt with naturally. And I actually haven't gone back to have my cholesterol tested since I found out it was high. So I need to do that. But in my journey of finding that out, after that, I've lost more than 40 pounds, I think 44 pounds. I think a lot of the issue was inflammation, just not eating the right thing. I gave up pop. I gave up drinking all sodas and pops, and that results in dropping weight. I mean, that's guaranteed to add to your midsection in uncomfortable ways. So those are some things that I would urge you to consider. I'm going to go through the Dirty Dozen list on buying organic and the Clean 15 that are thought to be lowest in pesticides. So the fruits and vegetables where that isn't as big an issue. And this is kind of a big deal. I mean, I eat or drink kale almost every day. If not kale, maybe spinach in the smoothies that I consume. And so that's something that I would urge all of you to, really become familiar with this list. And the list I have in front of me is copyrighted, so I can't drop it, but I could, maybe type these into the chat later or whatever. So let me just try to go through and give you this list so you have it handy. The Dirty Dozen, and there are a couple items added to this. So it's the Dirty Dozen Plus. There are a couple extra fruits and vegetables that it's really best to buy organic. Kale is one of them, but it's one of the plus ones, so it's not really one of the top 12 where it's an issue. This is an interesting list because my My brother-in-law and sister own an apple farm in Michigan, and they grow apples, and they grow them organically. And so the first thing on the dirty dozen list that you should buy organic is apples. Apples, if they're not organic, they have all kinds of pesticides and other ingredients in them that we shouldn't be consuming. And if we're buying them organic, then we're not really dealing with that issue. We're minimizing it, and we're intaking natural whole foods. Number 2 on the dirty dozen list is celery. And we don't really think about this with celery. It looks natural and green in the store. We don't think about pesticides that may go into growing it. But apparently that's an issue. So celery is number 2. Number 3 is cherry tomatoes. Number 4 is cucumbers. Number 5 is grapes. Number 6 is nectarines. Number 7 is peaches. Number 8 is potatoes. And this is particularly important to me as a direct descendant of Irish potato famine farmers who immigrated to the United States. Potatoes, try to go organic if you can. Might cost a little more, but it's more healthy and better for you. Number 9, snap peas. We don't really think about snap peas having issues with pesticides and such, but to keep those bugs and pests out of the farm, out of the garden, a lot of farmers and people who grow crops will resort to that. So snap peas, number 9. Number 10 is spinach. A lot of spinach apparently is subject to the issues of the pesticides that we talked about. Number 11, strawberries. Number 12, sweet bell peppers. And the plus ones of the dirty dozen, hot peppers, kale, and collard greens. Now, my wife frequently will buy kale in our house, and I keep urging her to buy organic because I know that kale is on the list of the dirty dozen. And in some people's versions of the dirty dozen list, it's in the top 12. It's not one of the extra plus ingredients, if you will. So, I noticed the last time my wife bought kale, she did buy organic. So I was grateful for that. I'll thank her. So we also have a clean 15 list of foods thought to be lowest in pesticides where buying organic doesn't matter as much. And here's this list. The first one is asparagus. Number 2 is avocados. Number 3 is cabbage. Number 4 is cantaloupe. Number 5 is cauliflower. Number 6, eggplant. Number 7, grapefruit. Number 8, kiwi. Number 9, mangoes. Number 10, onions. 11, papayas. That's good because papayas are hard to even find in the store here in Nebraska. I don't know about where the rest of you might live. Let's see, number 12, pineapples. Number 13, sweet corn. Number 14, sweet peas, frozen. So that's interesting. We have snap peas as number 9 on the dirty dozen, and sweet peas frozen is on the clean 15. So you're buying frozen sweet peas, you're probably okay. If you're buying snap peas, you want to buy organic. Number 15 on the clean 15 lowest in pesticides list is sweet potatoes. So it's very interesting to me that potatoes, other kinds of potatoes are on the dirty dozen list, and sweet potatoes are on the clean 15 list. So, and sweet potatoes are better for you anyway. And as runners, that's one of the smart substitutions you can make. Instead of having a baked potato, make a sweet potato. It's better running fuel. It's more colorful. And the taste is distinct and different from a conventional potato. So think about the sweet potato possibilities and learn how to make them before Thanksgiving and not necessarily load it up with marshmallows like our family tends to do. So sometimes we end up putting a lot of marshmallows on sweet potatoes to get kids to eat them. And I'm not sure we should be doing that. I think maybe we should be giving them the pure sweet potato and see what they think of that. And marshmallows just don't have a lot of nutritional value, do they? They just make kids happy. So without further ado, I'm going to move on to the Irish oatmeal that I'm going to endorse during the show. And before I forget, I have a running blog at runninggrooveshark.com. And you can find there I have an Irish blue kale smoothie recipe. And that contains this kind of Irish oatmeal. You can see it's McCann's Irish oatmeal, imported from Ireland. And look at the ingredients. See if I can get it lined up. There it is. 100% whole grain Irish oats. One ingredient, whole grain, nothing to worry about. No 50 ingredients to decipher and figure out what diglycerides or partially hydrogenated junk is in it. This oatmeal is amazing. It's amazing as a breakfast. It's amazing as a pre-race meal. I would urge you to try it if you've never tried it as a runner, to try this as a pre-race meal. It's great in smoothies. I'll put like half a cup as a serving. I'll put half a cup in the smoothie. I don't care if I've cooked it or not. I mean, it blends pretty well. It actually makes your smoothies more interesting. And so, I have my Irish blue kale smoothie recipe there. And I would urge you to try that. If you haven't tried it, I've got the recipe there, and let me know what you think. I have a cancer survivor who gave me that some of the structure for that recipe, and then I modified it for my own purposes, and kind of added adding the oatmeal was my idea. So that's that recipe is above, but that's the oatmeal that I recommend, and then you don't have to worry about what all the ingredients are. You have the whole grain oats. Let me give you a companion oatmeal label. This is my second favorite oatmeal, but let me show you how many ingredients are in it. This is from Trader Joe's. It's the Heart Healthy Whole Grain Blueberry, made with flaxseed and plant sterols. Now, I like this because it already has the flaxseed in it. I can put a tablespoon of chia in it and really make it amazing. Sometimes I add a tablespoon of chia to the McCann's Irish oats that I showed you, and those are, two good ways to go. But let me show you how many more ingredients the Trader Joe's product has. Here's the cover. Here's the front of the box. And look at how many ingredients it has. See, and the problem for the consumer is you have to go through and figure out what those are, what all those mean. I need a dictionary. I don't, and I'm an intelligent person. I'm a lawyer. I'm a law school graduate. But I don't remember what diglycerides are, or things of that nature. I would need to ask my wife, who's a pharmacist, or my brother, who's a medical doctor, what some of those things are and what they mean. So I would go with the one ingredient oatmeal. It helps lower cholesterol. My father and others have urged me to do that, to try to lower my LDL cholesterol, and I think including that as part of your daily consumption is really a good idea. So I did want to mention, let's see, what food have I not gotten to yet? Oh, quinoa. Oh, wow. Quinoa is amazing. Quinoa is a complete protein. It is not to be a grain, but it's really a seed. This is something that I would recommend you try. And what I like to do is cook the quinoa. You could cook a whole week's worth of quinoa and, just take it like a serving a day. I can take like a soup ladle or a cup's worth. This might be a little big serving for some people, but this is what the quinoa looks like when it's fully cooked. So, the quinoa is amazing. If you're going to put it in the smoothie, I would try to cook it first. It tastes better. It blends better. Try that. You know, if a cup worth is too much, maybe try half a cup. But quinoa is amazing. It's complete protein. It'll give you a lot of nutritional content, and it's easy to cook. You rinse it, you cook it for about 15 minutes, and you're done. And you've got a whole week's worth of quinoa cooked, and you just use the soup ladle or the one, you know, the 1 cup or half a cup if that's too much. And it really, you know, it tastes kind of like oatmeal. It tastes like more of a oatmeal with kind of a seed structure. So, but I would recommend, you know, give quinoa a chance. Give it a try. So let's see. We covered everything. I think we've covered most of what we wanted to cover. If anyone has any questions, you can ask those. Looks like I want to thank Tiffany and Danny for joining us. Let's see. I don't think we have anything else to cover. I am going to change the topic to how Irish blue kale smoothies save me. Okay. So now that we've changed the topic, you can tweet out this topic. I'm going to talk about this a little bit, and then I think I'm going to close out the show shortly unless other people arrive with questions or I think of something else that I think we need to cover. So in my journey with trying to beat high cholesterol, get it back under control naturally without statins, I started taking these kale smoothies every day. And I got the recipe I got the skeleton of the recipe from a friend who had cancer survivor, gave me the idea and the general ingredients, told me kind of how much fruit to put in it, to add quinoa, to add flax, to add chia, and how much. And I finessed those quantities to make them more palatable with what I was doing. And I honed that, and I had to adjust it for, you know, lactose intolerance. So I switched to the 50-50. I put in 16 ounces of almond milk, 16 ounces of coconut milk. The kale is about 5 ounces, and I put in about half a tablespoon of flax, half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of chia. Quinoa varies depending on whether it's cooked or not. If it is cooked, I just kind of add 1 scoop, not really a full soup ladle worth, but maybe half of that, maybe half a cup or less of cooked quinoa. Frozen fruit, a banana, if I have a banana available. Sometimes I don't. The dog likes to eat our bananas sometimes. McCann's Irish oatmeal. If I do add that, then it is a true Irish blue kale smoothie if I have the blueberries in it. That's how I named it. It's named for the blueberries with the McCann's Irish oatmeal. If I have both of those in it, then it's the Irish blue kale smoothie. I started taking these daily and drinking them, and eventually they became my dinner. And I found that I really enjoyed them and didn't really feel like eating much. They filled me up. They gave me more energy. My wife would start asking me what's for dinner and would already know the answer is a kale smoothie. And my family, finally started challenging me, can you not talk about kale for 5 minutes or more? And I found that I couldn't do that. The benefits were so strong with my running that I discovered that I just couldn't let this go. So that's what I've done with the kale smoothie recipe. I have honed the recipe a little bit since I published that blog post a couple years ago, but it's available on my website, and the link is up above if you need it. So feel free to let me know what ingredients you put in it. One important thing about what to put in it is which protein powder. And I used to use protein powder that was, let's see, it was not vegan. It had something in it that had lactose in it. I can't remember what the type of protein is off the top of my head now, but it's like similar. What I was putting in it was similar to what you find in muscle milk. And I found that had lactose in it and that wasn't working. And so now I use the Juice Plus version of protein powder. I prefer the chocolate one. I just put a scoop of that in there. Sometimes I realize I haven't put that in there until close to the end. And I try to make sure the coconut oil is under the frozen fruit so I can crush it down with kind of a utensil before I blend the kale smoothie. But it's really helped me stabilize my health. I'm on a long run streak right now. I'm going to be reaching 2-year run streak next week. So I'm excited about that. And I think a lot of the reason why is because I've changed my nutrition. And nutrition is one of those fundamental building blocks of stabilizing your health. And it's important to have that stable so that you can sleep better, have more energy. Nutrition, hydration, rest, and exercise. So the four legs of the table of your health. So if we can have all 4 of those legs stable, your health can be much better. I do want to let you know I am pursuing a health coach certification right now, and that's through the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. I've decided that as a running coach that my interests extend beyond that to help people with health and wellness and to educate people in finding how we can take control of our own health so we're not having to make unnecessary trips to the doctor, pay for unnecessary medications, lost work days, lost school days for children. I just see too many people struggling with their health. Lots of them are asking me how to stabilize things. And so I want to be in a situation where I obtain a certification that will give me more training and a curriculum to help people in stabilizing their nutrition, health, wellness, exercise, sleep, rest, etc. So I just began the class last week. I will complete the certification in December. I have to take a test and complete a bunch of assignments, make a formal presentation to 3 people to teach them a health class, and I'm excited about that opportunity. I just love talking to people about healthy living. And anything I can do to help you improve your health or to help you extend your endurance as a runner, I'm happy to do it. So please let me know if there's any way I can help you, or if you have any questions about running or nutrition. I'm available as a running coach. I'm an RRCA certified running coach, and I can help customize your training, work with you on where you are with your training, figure out where you want to take your running, how you want to go to the next level. What's your next dream race? What would you like to do with your health or with your life that you might feel limited with your health in some way? And so looking at changes we can make with your health on that. So let's see, I think we've covered most of what I want to cover today. I dropped the link to the blog post that has a recipe to the Irish blue kale smoothie recipe. I want to caution you with coconut oil and with some of these jars you have to open. I found that the more strength you obtain, you over tighten the jars, so you can't open them when you need to open them. So be careful with that. With the coconut oil, I tend to tighten that jar too much, and then I can't seem to loosen it. So I need to either obtain a better twister for that jar, or I need to remember just to not close the jar quite as tight. So anyway, I'm happy to be available for answering questions. If you have any, please feel free to visit my website at runninggrooveshark.com. You can contact me on Twitter at Jeremy P. Murphy is my handle there. Be happy to talk to any of you about healthy living. I love sharing recipes of kale smoothies and other things you can add chia, quinoa, flaxseed to. But again, the oatmeal that I endorsed today, just review, is the McCann's Irish Oatmeal. It's available at Trader Joe's and other stores near you. So give that a try. Let me know what you think. Tell me what your favorite oatmeal is, and then show me how many ingredients are in it, and tell me if you know what those ingredients mean, because sometimes we don't, and when we don't, that's really not a good thing. We need to make sure that we do know what's in our food, and that we can keep control over our health, keep our health stable, and be able to move on and achieve our goals. And if we work together, I think we can accomplish great things. And I would urge you to try to take control of your health in whatever way you can. I want to welcome Tanya, who just joined us. I was about to, oh, she left. Was about to wrap up the show. I was going to ask Tanya if she had any questions, but she left the room. So anyway, thanks for coming, Tanya. I appreciate your support. So I am going to change the topic back to the original title before I close this, because if I don't, it'll save it with the title of my blog post, and that's not what I want. So change it back to Irish Oatmeal for Running Souls. That's the title. HLR. Okay. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Find something to be thankful for. We have Thanksgiving coming up later this month. And so it's good to be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the gift of your health. Try to improve the health of others. And if you have any questions about healthy living, running, nutrition, please feel free to give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you, or tweet me, send me a direct message on Twitter, write a comment on my blog. You can reach me all kinds of different ways. So that gives you several ways to reach me. And I want to thank you again for joining me today. So with that, I think we're going to close. I'm going to tweet the link one more time so we have the original title out there. And thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Have a great Thankful Thursday and a Thoughtful Thursday. Do something awesome today to improve your nutrition, your health. Try to eat whole foods. Read labels, know what they mean, and talk with your families and friends about improving their health. And I think if we all work together, more of us can stay out of the doctor's office, and we're not placed in the situation of unnecessary trips to the doctor, unnecessary medication, hospitalizations, missed work days, missed school days, etc. We need to get our health back on the right path, off the path of illness, and back to the true path of health and wellness. So I wish you well, and have an awesome day and week. Bye, everybody. This is Jeremy Murphy signing off, also known as the Running Groove Shark at runninggrooveshark.com. And you can find me on Twitter at Jeremy P. Murphy is my handle.